Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and this is X-Force number 4. Before we get into this, I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas or whatever you celebrate. Um, Today is December 25th, um, figure I'd take a quick look here at X-Force number 4. Now, I've been saying that Fallen Angels has been my favorite of the um, post-Krakoa, post-Hickman, whatever, X titles. And X-Force is my second favorite, which makes me think I'm actually liking the darker side, the side that's showing the crack in the whole Krakoa plan. And this issue, as you know, X-Force is the kind of wet works ops of the X teams, while Fallen Angels are the ones they've kind of gone off the reservation. X-Force are the shadow attack people that go off and do whatever Xavier needs. Um, which is really funny because we're into the fourth issue now, and they've actually announced, that hey, we need X Force. This is what they do. Comparisons to CIA, what have you. And this book focuses on like Domino, Sage, Wolverine, Kid Omega. Um, which is actually kind of a neat team. Now, so far in this series, we've had this human group that's been led by the guy with the peacock tattoo. He's got this shadow council basically that's trying to take down the mutants. Kind of a dark mirror of the mutants. Um, Maybe not so much even a dark, because when you get behind the scenes, the mutants Xavier's side is kind of dark itself overall. And they did something pretty neat, to assault and assassinate Charles Xavier. They took parts of Domino and grafted the parts to their genetically engineered soldiers so that Krakoa's defenses would not recognize them as invaders. They would see them as Domino. And of course, Domino is still alive and she's pissed off about this. So, Kid Omega and Wolverine have rescued Domino, brought her back, and so now it's basically the decision what needs to be done. Um, the human anti-mutant team group attacks one of Xavier's pharmaceutical companies. While they do steal some petals, basically it was an attack to get into Xavier's finances and to steal money from him. Um, so we get a meeting of the Quiet Council, and Xavier uses an analogy about Hercules and how he, as a child, remained hidden, so the humans wouldn't know who he was. And then when he became an adult, he did the 12 labors um, you know, to to basically earn his place as a god. And it's funny that they show Hercules, like this because when you talk about, the mythology of Hercules, like they know Hercules. He's an Avenger. They could actually go to him and say, "Hey, what happened with this?" So they use the comparison that while Hercules was the muscle, Athena was the brain. So X Force is going to be their Hercules, and it's investigation into what happened at um, the pharmaceutical company. Um, and that's when they realized that they weren't after really the drugs; they were actually going for money, basically. The finances. And we get one of these script pages here that they've been sprinkling through all here. The portfolio of Charles Xavier. Uh, Xavier serves as the shadow chairman and primary stockholder of the following organizations, some of which rank as Fortune 500 enterprises. But his involvement with the companies has been largely kept secret to avoid calling attention to his wealth and power. And we get a list of some of them. Blackbird Motors, Phoenix Law Offices, Uncanny Valley Farms, Wolverine Waste Management. Yeah, it's kind of silly. Um, he's also the creator of the digital currency known as the X Coin. His exact wealth is incalculable, but since mutant sovereignty was declared, he is now considered the wealthiest and most powerful man alive. And here's where we see some of the darker sides. Some of these investments were made for altruistic reasons, but the majority were strategic. meant to influence news, entertainment, and education, or allow for political, legal, monetary, and fiduciary gains and control. But all of them were united in this common cause. They laid out the foundation for securing the dream of Krakoa. Now, I can't help but wonder if they're going to go with this whole thing as Krakoa is actually controlling Xavier, not the other way around. I think that's how this all going to wrap up. But um, it's interesting to see this that it's kind of almost like a conspiracy theory that Xavier has been manipulating the media and everything. Um, while it's something that would be done in the real world, it just kind of darkens Xavier a bit. It's just, I don't know, the whole thing seems a little scummy. Um, but in addition to this, one of the main things we find out in this book, um, it's basically kind of like a setup as they're gathering all the information, what's going on, what the attack is. Now that Xavier has been resurrected. Um, and there was some talk in the previous issue about death being meaningless now. And of course, Jean's like, "Oh no, no, it has more meaning now." It kind of felt like the author trying to explain that. Because to be honest, I don't like this whole, you know, mutants can be resurrected whenever. It kind of cheapens a lot of it, takes away some of the uh, some of the stakes involved. But there is one thing interesting here, and it's on this page. When Kid Omega, Domino, and Logan go to see Forge to get weapons, you see Domino is still pretty torn up. She's got half her skin removed. And Forge gives her this weapon that, is based on Krakoic tech. It can shoot missiles. It can make a sword. It can make rope vines. It's, as he calls it, a Swiss Army knife. So Kid Omega gets nothing. Wolverine talks about, he gets an idea because what he sees here is this pool. And Wolverine says, "Is this what I think it is? Punch bowl of adamantium. Professor's orders. There whenever we've got to put you back together." So that's like the big thing about, when the mutants get killed, Wolverine obviously has to have the adamantium refused to him every time he's resurrected. So that's why Forge has a big thing of molten adamantium. Now, this brings up like many more questions. Do they have to redo the whole thing, Weapon X style? Is it going to take months every time Wolverine dies to, rebond the adamantium and the claws and everything? It's kind of getting to be too much of a cop-out, if you ask me. Which, of course, this pool will be needed later because of how the book ends. And I'm not going to go any farther into the book. I kind of skipped through this. But X-Force, I'm really enjoying this book. This issue here is kind of setting up a lot of things. It kind of wraps up some things from the previous 3 issues and shows the next step going forward. It's kind of a, I don't want to say a breather issue, but it's really heavy-handed in how it's, setting everything up. There's a lot of things that seem to be, especially with the Quiet Council, that seem to be like, "Hey, reader, here's this exposition." And, of course, they do the stupid things here, which it's starting to be wasted pages. A lot of that could be just a couple lines of dialogue, because the one with Forge, after he shows Wolverine the adamantium, oh, I think I went past it here. I don't want to show too much. Yeah, is almost silly. It's Forge's daily planner, and most of it is just, goofy stuff. Excuse me. "Be sure not to forget 500 push-ups every afternoon at 4 p.m. New goal. Homework. Short stack Wolverine has requested that I build him, redacted. The question isn't should I. The question is, how long should I make him wait just to annoy him?" So, and silly things. "Develop Krakoan body spray with extra HE pheromones that smells like bacon and leather. Tested out by walking past Domino. Does she look twice?" It's kind of a wasted page of the story. So, But overall, I'm enjoying this book. This is, of the four issues, probably the weakest one. But it does answer the big question is, when Wolverine gets killed, where does the adamantium come from? And so, yeah, of course, it shows that they keep it on stack. Now, does that mean when he dies, does someone just take his body and, harvest the adamantium out of it? Because that was kind of a big thing after he died. Excuse me, when he was in that adamantium shell and getting his body. And so, yeah, I don't give this issue a 2. Not one of my favorites in this series, but overall, this is my second favorite book of the post relaunch Hickman, post Krakoa X titles. Um, so yeah, that's I'm going to wrap it up here because there really isn't a lot I can say about this issue. Now it is Christmas, but there's no new comics today. I think they're coming out tomorrow. I gotta work a double, so I'm gonna try and work them in. So yeah, it's going to be a little late. If I don't get something out on Thursday, I'll catch up on Friday. But anyway, enjoy the holiday. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.